Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. I hope everyone is doing okay. This video is a few tips on what to do if you're homeless, if you become homeless. So, eventually, if the unemployment and the stimulus runs out, or any multitude of bad things that can happen, job layoffs, we might see some spikes in homelessness. And so I just found out something that I didn't know, so I thought I'm going to do a video on this. And so if any of you have any tips, if you would leave them under comments, that would be greatly appreciated. So a lot of you probably know if you can't pay your utilities, you call 211. Or if you need help finding pantries or food banks, you call 211. If you are a senior and you don't have enough food, you call 211, and they can help you. Or if you need help with WIC, you call 211. But also you call the number 211 if you need help because you're homeless. And I just found that out, and I don't know that that's common knowledge, but you can call the number 211. So one of the women under comments said they didn't have 211 where they live. Well, out here it says if you have an extreme problem, call 911. So I don't see why, if you were facing homelessness and you didn't have 211 in your area, that you couldn't call 911 and they couldn't direct you to the number that would be the same as 211 where you live. So tip number 1 is call 211 and try to get some help. Number 2, go to the welfare department and get help. Even men get help. You can get food stamps. Men get 1/10 of the benefits women do. I heard there was a spike in childbirth. I think women are having children to get the stimulus and the welfare so that they don't end up on the streets, and men don't have the same options. And I see a lot of men on the streets now, young men, and they say the average age is around 24 years old, and this is very troubling. So go to the welfare department and hopefully you have a valid ID. That's really going to help you out. Doesn't have to be a driver's license, just an ID. So food, mainly you want to make sure that you have food, proper food. You're not going to be able to think straight. It doesn't take long to get into starvation. But you don't just eat a sandwich and come out of starvation. So you don't want to go there in the first place. You want to do everything you can avoid the starvation. That's why calling the 211 is good, because then they can direct you to the pantries. And I've tried to direct a lot of single men to the pantries, and they wouldn't go, and they said, well, I don't have anywhere to get the food. Well, you can go to more than one pantry a week, and you can get food for a day or two in your backpack. So number 2, go to the welfare department and get food stamps. Number 3, apply for Section 8. You need a valid ID. Mainly, you just need a driver's license, some way to identify yourself. And you don't need a job to get Section 8, and you can get Section 8 if you are a man, but you have to apply. And so I think if you also, there is some instances where the Social Security Department would be the place to go for some of this assistance. So you apply for HUD. You can do a search online for most of this stuff, like the Section 8. Also, once you get the Section 8, you can go to, I think your Section 8 is pretty good in any state in the union, any state in the whole country. And the prudent thing to do would be go to a cheap place, with your Section 8, where it's cheaper to live. Almost any place, almost any place would be cheaper than San Diego. Somebody told me last week Arizona was 1/2 the price of San Diego. Okay, so apply for Section 8. Even if you're a man, even if you don't have a job. Okay, number 4, go under Safari, you do a search. Help for homeless men, immediate assistance, and a whole bunch of stuff comes up. A lot of this stuff, it says closed or full, but there's probably help somewhere. So you go under, do a search, help for homeless men, immediate assistance. Number 5, locate churches that provide free meals and regular meals. So you're like, I told you guys, if you've been following me, I know I sound like a broken record, but I have all kinds of new followers. And I was trying to help this homeless guy go to the pantries, and he wouldn't go to the pantries. He wouldn't actually do anything. He was really, I thought he was on drugs, and later I think I realized he was starving. And so he went to the park finally, and he found a park where they gave him a sandwich, a fruit, or a small salad, and he came out of it. So what you want to do is you want to locate these churches or parks where they give the free food and go there every single day. You have to have proper nutrition every single day. And two more places that are good are the Salvation Army. If you don't have any food and you don't have any money, the Salvation Army will usually give you food every single day. And then the other place is the Red Cross. So the Salvation Army and the Red Cross, there's help there. Okay, number 6, stay out of the extreme heat or the extreme cold, and don't get wet and don't get too filthy. The filthiness is extremely, extremely dangerous. Out here, it has been like up over 100 degrees, hot like Arizona and Las Vegas, and they sit in the sun all day long, and I don't understand why, because we have sun on this side of, you have these, they're like, pavement where you walk between the buildings, and there's shade on one side and sun on the other, and it is just so hot, and why wouldn't you sit in the shade? And they stand and they beg all day in the hot boiling sun. And it's so dangerous. And we're supposed to be having the grand solar minimum, and so extreme cold is to be expected as well. And also, if you get wet, it can really, really kill you, especially with the COVID. The COVID is a viral pneumonia, so you don't want to, get really cold and sick. Okay, 44% of the homeless work an average of 30 hours a week. So what we're seeing is we're seeing underemployment. We're not seeing a 40-hour week. We're not seeing full-time jobs. Now what do I do with my little paper? Well, we'll have to do these from memory. That's not good in my case. Okay, so, how can you lose that? Oh, here we go. Okay, so here are suggestions. So I did a search under Safari, and these are not good suggestions, but they're better than nothing. Storage units is better than nothing. Cars. You could lease a van or a car if you have the resources, or else I've seen people living in U-Hauls that could work for a while. I don't know how long you could get away with that. Motels. Motels are more expensive than apartments out here. Tents. I see a lot of people buying tents, and I think, my God, hope not. Streets and parks. The problem with streets and parks is the other homeless people are going to be in the streets and parks. Abandoned buildings. I think those would be extremely dangerous. And then couches, which of all those, the best one would be if someone let you sleep on their couch. The guy that I was trying to help, his friend let him sleep inside of the front door. So that was better than being homeless. Also, one guy I was trying to help, I talked to him about 45 minutes, and we came to the conclusion another guy we knew might let him sleep in the shed, and that was the solution. So the main thing is, within a short time, people could find themselves in this position. So anything you can come up with, to make sure that you have proper nutrition and any kind of shelter is going to be better than nothing. What I'm saying is it's single men. The women can get welfare, not the men. Okay, you guys, please like, comment. If you have good suggestions, leave them under comments, because you never know who might be reading this. And God bless you all.